Seabirds.
It's okay. I don't think there's any need to be nervous. They look like a lovely group of people to me. Oh, just take a deep breath. Do you feel better? Great. And actually, speaking of deep breaths, do any of you think you could hold your breath for a minute? What if you had to hold it for a minute and free dive down to 70 meters? No takers? Well, this guy can do it, and he can catch his dinner at the same time. I'm Olly Dove, and appropriately for my name, I study the diving behaviour of seabirds, and in particular, I study the shearwater. So in Lutrida, Tasmania, shearwaters raise their chicks on land, but to get their dinner, they have to go to sea, and they can go all the way to Antarctica, and they can go all, thanks for that, the way back within just 2 weeks. And I find it incredible that a small 600-gram or so bird can do that commute when I start puffing after running across the stage. Now, fortunately, they don't have to go that far, and it's their feeding around Tasmania that's so crucial for raising their chicks successfully. And since they're near Tasmania, they're near humans, which means they're going to be near boats, marine farming, and the waters in southeast Tasmania are actually warming at 3 to 4 times the global average. So we want to know if these external factors are impacting their behaviour. But to do so, we need to understand their behaviour, which is happening out at sea. Not again, thank you. So how are we going to do it out there? I, for one, am not nearly a good enough swimmer to follow them out. Well, fortunately, we have technology. And shearwaters are burrowing birds, which means they live underground. So once we find our shearwater, we can... Do you want to show them what's on your back? We can attach a small device called a biologger. It doesn't look like much, it just looks like an eraser. But they take it to sea, they do their diving, they bring it back, and it's recorded 3 important things. The GPS, so location, the accelerometry, which means the speed, and the pressure, which we convert to depth underwater. And with speed and depth, we can identify different movements and classify different dive types. So we know where they're doing smooth dives to look for food, and where they're doing dives with oscillations, which is just a fancy word for wiggles, and those dives might be where they're collecting food. So knowing where the different movements and where the different dives are happening means that we can identify where the important regions to protect are. So, if I may be allowed to paraphrase an old favourite TV show, save the shearwater, save the world. Told you they'd like you.
Thank you, Olly. And what do we have a name for your little furry friend?
Geordie, the short-tailed shearwater.
Geordie. Well, thank you, Geordie, as well. And judges, do you have any questions for Olly and Geordie?
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks, Olly. Sounds like you work in some amazing places. Can you describe to the audience a little bit some of those sort of field places where you work? I mean, it sounds amazing.
Definitely can. This is actually our favourite question to answer. So I work on Wedge Island in Tasmania. It's just off the peninsula. And this island is full of seabirds. There's an overlapping colony of shearwaters and little penguins. And we camp just underneath the colony for up to 5 weeks at a time. And it's not classy work because there's no showers and there's no toilets. Wow. So it is bare minimum and it is amazing.
Doesn't sound like I'll be volunteering anytime soon.
Oh, no!
So I'm in forensics, and you tell me that you are a bird stalker.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
You're a bird stalker.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, is there any pattern of movement of this bird that is connected to the type of food that they look for?
Yeah, and that is a wonderful question. Do you want to take it or should I? Okay, he's getting shy again. So the movement can tell us about the prey species because some of the prey of seabirds have this sort of migration throughout the day. So at different times, they're going to be in different places. So if they're doing a lot of feeding and they're moving very fast, very sharp angles, it's going to tell us about the fish or the krill that they're going to be targeting, as opposed to if they're going down deeper and they're moving potentially slower, it's going to be a different prey species.
So it's a passive way to know also about their diet.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
And a passive way to know what is in the water instead of environmental DNA. Good.
Yeah. Yeah, so his behaviour can tell us about other species as well.
It's a spin-off research.
Yeah.
problem.